because we know what they are capable of. Our most recent champions, and right now they find themselves up 2-0 in the series versus Boston Breach, going into a control where they love themselves some Elasilo. Records are 8-3 for Toronto, 7-4 for the Boston Breach, but 2-0 in this specific matchup. So if you are Ultra up 2-0 in this series, you know that you have beaten this squad previously on this map. All confidence on their side.
Yeah, it has to be, right? I mean, for Toronto, it feels like everything is going their way. And say what, man, Breach, I think they need to come out and just win the opening attack. Like, that would surely begin to make things a little bit better in their camp. And oftentimes it always starts with an opening team fight victory. KREMP and Beans trying to do that right now for the squad. Is KREMP able to win another massive gunfight? That's going to be 3 down for the moment, and Breach quickly rush on in toward A. That is one segment down, and another one that's about to join it. That is going to be the entire A segment captured. Well-timed kills coming in for Boston.
Oh, that's too easy right there from Boston Breach, more specifically on the KREMP, who already starts off this map 2-0. We saw him play this one versus Optic Texas. He had a 1.3.
Oh my.
He just knows what it's like to roam with that SMG, especially alongside Nero, who loves himself some Asilo control as well. They already complete that A capture. They're trying to rotate over towards B, but Toronto Ultra cut down the first wave. That's 3 dead. Awakening, last player farthest pushed up.
Yep, so it's like early wave cleared. And I want to ask you, Jay, like, what has been your favorite thing so far about watching KREMP's gameplay?
Oh man, just his aggressiveness, because you can just tell the young man is very delusional when it comes to some of these chows. But it's just alongside Nero, like both of those guys have a lot of the similarities in their gameplay when you're talking about ego chows, how much ground they're able to cover with their movement. So I just think this young man has so much potential to grow as he continues to play in his professional career and play matches like versus Optic Texas, versus Toronto Ultra, some of the top team in the game. You're only going to get better as you keep going.
Oh my word, he's already off to another lovely spree. That's gonna be 3 in a row. Also some shifty movement to stay alive. He and Nero currently skating, it feels like, over at this B zone, and right into it they go. A current 4v1 on the point, and really, if you're Kleenex, you are calling on the cavalry. How quick can your teammates get there? I guess as fast as KREMP wants to take them down. Lovely work there from the rookie. He eventually does get eviscerated, but the rest of the team is doing exactly what they need to. Sayonara, round number 1. Boston, take it.
And that is how you want to take an attacking round to start off on a silo. No trophy systems early into the map, but just non-stop aggression out of Boston Breach. Especially the SMGs, who are always just roaming towards bottom lockers, towards bottom checkers, roaming around bottom middle. Just having Toronto Ultra focus on their positioning by just simply staying alive. One of the best attacking teams that we have on the map. Boston Breach sitting at number 2, but now it's time for Toronto, who are number 1 on that attacking side as well.
Yeah, now poised to see exactly what has led to Ultra seeing so much success on a map that is obviously more defensive favorite at 61% to 39% on the year. But Toronto, they've been able to really find that special ingredient when it comes down to it. But in that opening engagement, it's Boston who is able to put a few to bed. Nero could be in threat of earning a cruise missile. 2 more kills to go, and right now finds himself in a good spot. Has to be careful not to throw it away. Lovely reaction as Breach continue to fly. 1 more, as we said, for Nero.
And this is a guy who I wanted to put a lot of focus on this map, because online, Nero, on Elasilo, he's a 1.4 KD, but on land, he's sitting at a 1.0 clean. So he drops a little bit, but already on a 5 streak. Potentially earned himself a cruise missile freebie onto Kleenex. Time to get out with your life. Unfortunately, Hicksy is able to catch him. So now with Toronto finding a couple kills, they have full control of field side. Probably just gonna try to get up towards B to stop that clock.
B's a big one. Able to drop Kleenex in the meantime, and so with that, now all the pressure, as we said, begins to fall into Awakening. Hicksy with the lovely flank ends up setting up this play quite nicely for Ultra, and that instantly looks like it's going to be the B point going their way. Nobody from Boston is going to be in distance of it, and that is Toronto Ultra. Their attack on Elasilo explained perfectly, Jay.
That's just too good. Actually, to walk away with that B point nice and early, so now you have 1 minute and 30. Try to rotate over towards A. It's now Boston Breach are on the defensive end. You have KREMP roaming around towards bottom pool. You have Beans all the way pushed out towards back yellow shack. He does get sniffed out, but he wins his gunfight. That's now 3 dead in the feed. Hicksy last player up, but he should get traded here. And now Boston Breach, they cut down the first wave. Only a minute left. They have to hold on.
Tough to be able to do that. And really, right now for Ultra, it's about finding those timely picks. Never going to be easy for the defensive team to lock things down. As we said, over at the A point, much easier for the offensive team to get there. Kleenex trying to make a little bit of noise toward the back. That's going to be 2 down. And now for Ultra, they will find their kills as well. It is a full-on collapse and a stack inside of the objective. Nero is going to bring out the cruise missile. Here comes the cruise. Can it land in time? It will. The trophy is there to stop it. That zone continues to fly, and that will be it. Cruise missile does nothing.
Oh, that's a panic situation right there out of Boston. They go clean for dead. You saw the initial 2 players that dropped the Kleenex. Once those 2 guys dropped, the other 2 players from Boston tried to be aggressive because they know we cannot go down in this situation, but they were too aggressive, and Toronto were able to capitalize on it, get the 4 down, get the stack in, and even get Nero to invest in that cruise missile, which have been so crucial as we got into these later rounds. But now Toronto Ultra, they don't have to think about that one. Much needed attacking ground, especially with Boston wasting that streak.
Yeah, I mean, you just feel like if you're Boston, like you absolutely could have used that moving into a future attacking round, like this one that they're about to have. Like, I don't know, it just felt like in a spot like that, we were even questioning whether or not that the streak would even actually be useful at that moment. Questionable plays coming in from Breach. I think we actually saw a knife to the back of a teammate, so maybe communication not on point at the moment for Breach. Regardless of it, though, we head into round number 3 with them back on attack. So far, both teams looking pretty nice when it comes down to offense. We'll see if Insight can actually earn a cruise missile himself. He sits on 4, eventually does drop. So good work from Breach just to get him off of that spree as they look to focus their attention now back toward A. All 4 players here on that zone's about to go.
Yeah, it's too late already if you are Toronto Ultra. We're about to make a decision if you want to try to break in, but Boston might have made it for you. Because they now realize that there's only 1 player on the point, so it's not going up as fast as they thought. Hicksy has worked his way all the way around backfield. He eventually does get cut down by Awakening, but the rest of Toronto Ultra, they're still trying to contest this. They're not trying to get this one up for free.
Yeah, you can take a moment there where Toronto's like, okay, you just, we want to put 1 player on the objective. Fine, we're going to make you get back on it. They do that, and well, Boston makes them pay. Toronto wants to get aggressive, and Breach end up making the inverse happen. Lovely work as Nero, not able to turn. That kill would have been huge. In the meantime, it is Toronto winning some timely fights, clearing out the backside of the base. Beans gets wiped away over at top party. Big Wake's at least able to tag 1, so that will keep Breach's map positioning alive. As they've got 2 players behind enemy lines. We'll see what they can try and do as Hicksy. Lovely work toward the top, finds a kill, skates, stays alive. Minute 20 on the clock as Nero finally will put his foot back on B.
Yeah, they're able to get on the point. Just have to focus on this 1 player over towards White, which is Kleenex. He cuts down Beans. With him staying alive in that position, Toronto is going to get those close spawns, so they should be able to put the pressure on. And that's exactly what they do, is they find all the kills in the feed. Make Boston hit that reset button. Now off spawn with 1 minute and 5 seconds left on the clock, down by 3 lives. How do they decide to attack it? 2 players going on the flank, 2 players trying to hold on to White. Big gunfight went from Kleenex. He earns that cruise missile.
Take a look at player 8, take a look at player 5 right now from Boston. They're trying to make the SMGs pull off something special. Nero eventually traded out, and now the sole man alive over here is going to be KREMP. I think his position actually isn't known as of yet.
Yeah.
No, they have not spotted him. We'll see how much time he can buy. Not enough. Did what he could, but with 30 seconds to go, Boston Breach once more, hand in hand, like brothers in arms, trying to make their way up the map, and they just continue to find some timely kills. A lovely nade over the top gets granted for scrap.
Big
Not
win.
able to find a second. Big Wake makes him pay. Boston once more on the objective. Insight, he's got to dive. Oh, KREMP ends up winning it. Can Kleenex get here in time? Boston stat, and there you go. Another offensive round victory.
Breach just set that up beautifully, man. It's the aggression from the SMGs. KREMP and Nero, every single time are pushing up Keg Alley, just trying to take control of tools. They know that their ARs have some of the best shots in the game. We get down towards these box. Awakening is definitely watching over us, and so is Beans. As they take control of the middle of the map, they force Toronto to consistently spawn over towards top cliff, but I don't think Toronto ever found himself in a situation when they decided to decap over towards B. It was like Boston Breach. Every time they hopped on that point, it was the same progression they had before they dropped. So I think if you are Toronto Ultra, you let that one get away from you. But at least cleanx does have that cruise missile.
That's very true. I mean, we just talked about like the slang talent that both of these teams have, right? I mean, we know, Jay, like how LSCLO control works sometimes. It's just a matter of like, it has like a Berlin effect from last year, where it's like if you can find a few quick kills in stride, the defensive team can spawn out in such a weird location to where you can instantly put them in a spawn trap. It's just excellent, excellent work from both teams. Obviously, Boston flawless on the attacks. We'll see what Toronto can do, but just 8 very, very talented players who all have the chance to take over a map. And as we said, LSCLO definitely favors those high-impact, quick kills. Very timely ones at that in Toronto. I mean, this is just another zone that's going to be captured. I don't know how many we've seen so far, but excellent work here from Ultra. Able to win their fights, and that is A zone done. 2 minutes on the clock. Are we going to see 4 straight rounds of attack 1?
And so far, Toronto Ultra finding the right kills at the right time. They maintain field control. They're allowed to just sprint right on forward from white. Now Boston Breach spawning all the way out the map. Has to try to hit their attacks, weaken a couple opponents. Never at least finds the first kill. This is where it's time to strike through Keg Alley. None other than KREMP to take Hixie off of that time. As they find all the kills in the feed, Toronto Ultra now set to re-push from the front end.
And so with those spawns, right, they're going to know roughly where a few of the Breach players are going to be positioned. Hero hanging out toward bottom. He is ready for that timely flank, but really, he's not got a whole lot to do, given the fact that his teammates are locking things down from the front. Beans does fall out of a very valuable position. Again, as you said, Jay, those top white spawns. So Toronto are going to have numbers here pretty quick. Nero does fall on the flank. A big one to find if you're KREMP. Really for Breach, you're just trying to tag players up, at least win the trades, and your life's going to be that much easier. In the meantime, for Toronto, 2 players on the point. They get that first tick done. Still a big job to do, as it is basically just a trade fest in field right now.
Yeah, it's all on trade fest over towards BS&D, but Boston Breach, at least for now, are able to stabilize the moment. cleanx unfortunately tries to go on to the point, but Beans is able to cut him down. So now you're put in a situation where if you are the Ultra, obviously you need this round to force a round number 5. But in the back of your mind, cleanx still has that cruise missile. If you do complete B, it's going to be all tied up in segments, so it comes down to the slaying. Right now, Boston Breach have a nice little comfortable lead in that, so it's all or nothing right now if you're Ultra. It's time to invest that cruise missile after finding a huge 2-piece in the feed.
Yeah, it feels like right now would be the perfect time, and here it comes. cleanx rocking it from the skies. We'll see what he can find. Tossed out those tags, get those trophies out of the play. Ends up cutting away Nero. 2 players on the top. Toronto are going to know that. And now they're putting pressure on Breach to have to come to them. That is the second zone captured. 1 more to go, and Awakening is the only player here. 4 rounds down, and it is all about attacks. Toronto answer right back, and into a round 5 we go, buddy.
2 of the best attacking teams, if not 2 of literally the best attacking teams that we have on LSCLO. And they have been showing it so far, but it all comes down to the slaying. Who is going to be able to take this defense going into this round number 5? You might not even want defense. It's been all attacking so far. So I'm pretty sure Boston Breach have outslayed by a little bit, so they're going to be on the defensive end. Ultra now have to win 3 attacking rounds to try to complete the 3-0.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's like we're going to go into this round 5 and be like, okay, well, technically they're on the more preferred side, but is it really? Just makes it more 50-50. Toronto, they will have the attack. Boston, as we said, technically on the more favorable side, but so far both teams have put on a masterclass when it comes down to attacking here on LSCLO, one that I'm sure many CDL teams are going to watch back on the VOD, see how they were able to do something as special as this. Hixie, my goodness, what another spree coming in from him. Ends up falling just 1 short of the cruise missile. How big would that have been for Toronto throughout the future of this round? He ends up falling, and now it's time for Boston to make their way up the map, trying to be a thorn pretty much behind every single corner.
And right now, Awakening is the only line of defense for Boston Breach over towards A. He's able to find 3 kills, relieve that pressure. And now force Toronto Ultra just stay in their spawn. Only 45 seconds left. They have yet to find a kill until Scrap and Inside combine for 2. You take down Awakening, you take down Beans. And with 3 dead in the feed, you're finally able to stop that clock. The stack is going to come in towards A. Never going to try to contest it, but it should be a trade here from Kleenex, and it is. As the first segment is in, second segment about to be done. Already, it's going to be a minute extended on the clock.
Yeah, we're talking, Jay, like teams oftentimes when they're losing a fight like that, right, they're at least able to go even, if not get pinned in the back of their base. Toronto Ultra, what do when they're putting their spawn on El Asilo? They go through with a quick 6-team spree. As we said, just fantastic work from both squads so far on the offensive side. But 1 more zone to go.
Big win.
3 more ticks to go as Kleenex able to wipe away Awakening inside of the base. Another layer still to go. KREMP trying to be annoying, trying to be difficult.
Big
Remains
win.
there. Big wins coming in from the rookie, causing Toronto a lot of time to have to focus on him. And that's going to be another one. KREMP now at 4.
Oh, the rookie is coming alive for the Boston squad. He was the only player on this side of the map that stayed alive in his situation, and now he finds himself on a 5 streak. Can potentially earn that cruise missile, but there's so much time being wasted on Toronto Ultra trying to locate where KREMP is. So he's rotated his way all the way towards white. You see how they're playing so slow? They waited for the one player that at least made it out to try to make a play. They still know that KREMP is ready to attack. He finds another one. He earns that cruise missile. And with only 20 seconds left, it might be time to invest it to call game.
Yeah, you can tell like Toronto, they're trying to send Kleenex. They're trying to put the Great Dane to take down KREMP, but he will not go away.
Oh,
He
my.
will not go away. Toronto wiped off the point as it's KREMP styling here in round number 5. The final effort, the final push here for Ultra as they have to rely on a dolphin dive just to hop at the objective, and even that is not enough. Have yourself a moment. Special K, KREMP, going off in the round 5, giving Boston the timely defense and their first map in the series.
Oh, man, that's a big map, obviously, for Boston Breach to stay alive in this series, but more specifically, out of the rookie in KREMP, just takes over the game in those final moments. And now you find yourself in a situation where if you are the Ultra, you have to now worry about his presence on the map. Because that map number 4 is going to be Fortress, SMG Town. It's usually where they like to roam, but Boston Breach, they needed to win 1 defense to walk away with the map, and they do it all the way in a round number 5. Great performance from the rookie. 29 non-traded kills, 3,400 damage.